56 sulla schiena e Salamella. E tu, io e Salamella, corre sulla fascia e no, non si ferma, lui dribbla, lui segna.
Proprio nel campo a difendere e un Milan invece Giroud in area, si gira, sinistro, rete, ha raddoppiato il Milan al 33esimo minuto nel corso della ripresa, cambia ancora il parziale a San Siro, gol capolavoro di Olivier Giroud, spalle alla porta in area di rigore, si libera sul piede sinistro, manda a vuoto l'intervento del difensore dell'Inter e piazza il suo sinistro nell'angolino più lontano, lì dove Samir Handanovic.
Buongiorno, buongiorno, buonasera, fellow Melanisti, and welcome to another live episode of the MLM Podcast with me, your host, Max Lombardia. Now, it has been a while since we last talked, a really long time actually. I think the last time we talked on a pod was maybe straight after that Roma game, and we haven't had a chance to go live since we had that really embarrassing game to Parma. And obviously the international break, which I'm hoping to talk about today. I'm not sure where Gino is. Hopefully he's going to join live in a bit, but I'm going to go solo as long as I can. So hello to the guys in the chat. Hello Fahadino. Hello Angel Laudia. Nice to see you guys. Welcome. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, I do just want to plug the Substack, a little bit in terms of a couple of articles and bonus pods we've done around the Parma game and the international break. A little bit of chat around that Parma game, some of the comments from Allegri, probably move on to the national team, the sort of Italian disaster show that we watched against Norway, and what that means for Italy going into the preliminaries of this qualifying semi-final, the draw, the team we might play in the final, etc. And then I wanted to do a derby preview as well and just kind of talk through that and see kind of where we are, what we think. There's a question about what we think the starting formation is. So yeah, I think if we're here and we're ready to go, let's get going. It's weird doing it on my own. Very weird. Chat away, guys. Jump in the chat. Keep me some company. If you're listening on X, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, of course, please hit like, subscribe if you can. A big thank you, as always, to our friends over at Milan Extra, who are fantastic for supporting with graphics, etc. And as I always say, they are probably one of the best, if not the best, Milan X site for fantastic English translations from the Italian media. Lots of detail, great stuff. So please, if you don't already, give them a follow. They're a great site. So Parma. So I did do a bonus podcast on the Substack, and I did talk a little bit about how this game felt afterwards. What a strange game. So you know, we've struggled in the last few years to break down these low block clubs or these lower league teams, and this season a theme is starting to reoccur. You know, you've got that Cremonese blip, you've got that Pisa game, and now you've got this Parma game. And different to the other two games, we were in complete control. It was a really good first goal by Salamakers. It was a well-won penalty again by Salamakers. And it was a great finish by Leao on that penalty. Hit it really well into the bottom corner. Suzuki was close, but just not close enough. 2-0, you know, 45 minutes plus 4 minutes or wherever it was, 3 minutes stoppage time, almost perfect and dominant. Parma had a bit of possession, but they really didn't look like they were going to do much. And then in that 45th minute and 4th minute, Stepanan is completely bodied, is the only way to put it. Absolutely bodied. It's a great bit of play by their players. Really good goal from their number 10, who slots it. I guess he gets that postcard top corner finish, doesn't he? It's a great goal. Don't know what Manyan's doing there, but it is a fantastic finish. Defence at 6s and 7s. Not a good look. 2-1, and they get the belief. They think they're back in it. Second half is more of the same, I'm afraid. And like I said in the bonus podcast, it was a game of two halves. I know that's really cliche to say, and a lot of players had a game of two halves as well, like Salamakers, for example. Second half was not good. Like, not one part of our team worked. The defence was all over the place. Our midfield was a bit slow. even Modric, to be fair. And the attack, I mean, we created chances, I guess, but we could not finish. Poor from Pulisic, although he is coming back from an injury. That was a great little sort of back heel from Leao. And a really great chance for Salamakers in the 81st minute. But he just absolutely fluffed it. And when I say fluffed it, I mean really fluffed it. Shocking, shocking chance. I mean, your keeper's coming out, you need to slot it bottom right corner. Unfortunately, what he does is he gets it round the keeper, which is fine, and then he should shoot, but then he doesn't. He tries to take another player on, and then he's calling for a penalty, and I think it's too little too late by then. And Milan kind of finished the game 2-2, and this definitely feels like another game where we dropped 2 points, a bit like the Juve game, the Pisa we should never have drawn, we should be beating teams like that. I think Cremonese can be a blip, the first game of the season. But I think, we leave the Parma game a bit like the other games where we feel glass half empty. We should be higher up the league, actually. We should have more points. We should be in a much more commanding position. We should have gone into international break in a much solid, easier, more comfortable position going into the derby. Instead, as we like to do, we made our lives really difficult. So, yeah, not good, not good. So, some of the comments by Allegri straight after the game. We were a bunch of chickens. When you're 2-0 up at the 45th, you can't concede a goal like that. You'd be better off putting the ball into the stands. In the second half, we came back out asleep and dazed. This won't do. Today, we threw away 2 points. Yeah, spot on, really. I mean, the only thing I'd probably say in hindsight is the starting formation. I'm not sure how Fofana's still starting games, even with RLC back. And Stepanan, again, with hindsight, let's be fair, was a really poor choice. I thought Bartosaghi had done enough to keep his starting spot. And those 2 players weren't great, as we all know and as we all saw. So, look, let's move on from the Parma game and let's just talk about the Substack really quickly. So, we are doing a premium bonus content Substack at the moment. On there at the moment, we are doing bonus articles, bonus podcasts. We've got a group chat. It's all going on over there. A big thank you while I'm here to our founding members who are Rajat, Rune, and of course Shane from Minister 360. And a big thank you to Buzz as well, who is a monthly subscriber to us. I wrote this piece, Polli di Parma, which was Chickens of Parma, which went quite well with what Allegri said. And in here, I just kind of detailed a little bit more what I was thinking straight after the game. I also did a bonus podcast, about 10 minutes, maybe a bit longer actually, just talking about the game, what it means, where it puts Milan and how kind of the general feeling is, which I guess, to talk a little bit sideways, is this team is built to come top 4. We've been told billions of times that is what we're aiming for. That is our goal, top 4, top 4, top 4. And this team currently is in top 4. It's actually 3rd. So maybe it's matching the ambition of its owners and management. I don't know. But it's definitely frustrating, I think. It's a shame. And just to kind of reiterate that, this is the table at the moment. So despite us beating Roma then took advantage of our draw and went up to 24 points alongside Inter. So they're currently both joint top. And I guess in 3rd and 4th, or you could say joint 2nd, 3rd, whatever, is Milan and Napoli, both on 22 points. Bologna very close, 21 points. A blip against Inter would see us potentially drop out of the top 4, which would be probably the first time for a while. Juventus on 19 points. You've got Como there in 7th, no surprise, I think. Sassuolo doing really well. Grosso doing well. Lazio in 9th. So yeah, like it's there's no, the media is focused around, there's no big team, there's no massive team at the moment in Serie A. I think Inter have always been the big team. I think the Kiva appointment, threw some people off, but the squad is still there, the depth is still there. So yeah, there you go. There you have it. There's the league table. Interestingly, I think I might be on my own for this one. I don't know where Gino is, a bit worried, but fingers crossed he can make it. So I don't know if anyone saw this friendly. So we played, is it Virtus Intella? I think their name is, in a friendly behind closed doors in Milanello, and we lost 3-2. I think this game was just to kind of give the legs to like Pulisic, let Yashari have a run out, let some of the youth players play. Yeah, it didn't go well, did it? It did not go well, unfortunately, and we lost 3-2. I think Pulisic got himself a goal, I think, if I'm not wrong. And I heard, I didn't watch all of it, but I heard that Fofana made a really big mistake leading up to the third goal. Shock horror, everyone. Even against these Serie C or D, whatever they are, teams, Fofana shows up like he does. Just a little side point. It's rumoured that David Odugu is going to go on loan. That lasted long, didn't it? Where's this? You know, we were hoping for this experienced centre back to come in and support us and jump in the team and lead by example. And we've got this 19-year-old on deadline day for 10 million, who's now going on loan by the looks of things. Probably to play, right? I don't blame him. He's not. Has he even played? Maybe he's jumped in. Maybe he's played a little bit. I'm not sure. Next one. Maldini, not a Maldini FC. Oh no, I better calm down. I just thought this was interesting. So asked about, the Fiorentina director's role. Maldini said, in Italy there is only one club for me. Even abroad there is only one club for me, and it's Milan. And just if any of you doubted it, and there's always this little gripe, isn't there? People that somehow, I don't know why, I don't know what it's about, but seems to love Fellaini and everything that he's done. Always have something against Maldini. I just thought this was really interesting. I thought this was a massive point. Still showing his love for the club, and I do think if these idiots go, he'll probably be the first one back through the door, I would have thought. I mean, if you're a new owner and you take Milan, and how do you get your fans back on side? The first thing you do is probably grab this man and give him a sporting project that he can be part of. I mean, how dare he say that Milan needed to invest more in players and the sports side to do better? How dare he? How dare. So look, I think that's a little bit on Milan past, I think. I would have liked to have talked a bit more about the international break with Gino, but let's talk about this. So Italy versus Moldova, 2-0 finish. I mean, what the hell was this? I mean, this was, I think, not to go into all the detail, but maybe 85 minutes of just pure crap. I mean, how did we take that long to score against Moldova? I don't know how we do this stuff. It seems the worse the opponent, the worse we are. We just don't turn up for these games. I think we scored the 86th and 89th or something. I think even fucking Mancini scored, for fuck's sake. So that says it all for you there. Not great. Not a great advert. Didn't fill me with any confidence whatsoever going into that Norway game. And this Italy team is really starting to struggle, and it really shows it. I think we talked a lot about, how Gattuso was going to bring back this sense of appartenenza, and he has done that. He has brought some grit back. But what we all know is his limitations as a coach in terms of style, in terms of formation, in terms of, what's the word I'm looking for? Tactical. He's not there. And this game kind of showed that. Anyway, we won. We took the 3 points. We went off to Norway, and all the conversation was about Italy. As long as they won, I think it was 1-9-0 against Norway, they would qualify automatically. Look, let's not be silly. Whoever thought that was actually going to happen needs their brains readjusted and re-examined. I don't think anyone serious thought that was actually going to happen. And just because he scored in the first couple of minutes, I don't think anyone, including me, thought that was going to happen either. And obviously it went 4-1 at home, probably the worst loss in God knows how long, if it's not the worst loss we've ever had at home. Really poor, actually. The game was 1-1 for a long time. And then Mancini apparently said something stupid to Haaland. Of course he did. I mean, Mancini, I don't know who he thinks he is. Haaland then kind of turned up, scored a couple of goals, game finished 4-1. I think the last guy to score was an ex-Milan project as well, ex-Milan youth player, of course, Larsen or something like that, Larsen. Yeah, I don't know if 4-1 flatters Norway a little bit. I don't think Norway is as good as they've looked in the qualifying stages. I think the difference is Norway know how to put a shit team away, and they've also shown up against us, and we've lost twice. So we've started our qualifying campaign and we've ended it in the exact same way. 3-goal difference loss, 3-0, 4-1. Not good, not good at all. And it really worries me going into the sort of qualifiers and next rounds. And I really worry about this Italy team. There's really not much in it. Substance is lacking. Um, you know, is Gattuso, is that slipping? Is that World Cup slipping? Is that qualification not going to happen? Maybe, potentially, that's something we need to talk about. And it's not about being negative or being cowards or anything like that. I think, if you've followed the Italian national team for as long as I have anyway, you see the patterns, no matter the manager, no matter the players. It's the national identity, and we do not do well when we are favourites. We never have done, we never will do. I just think that's the mentality of the country. I think that's just how the people are. We love being an underdog. That's what really gets us going. And unfortunately, we're now going to go, I'll bring the thing up in a minute, but I'm not confident. I'm just not confident. And I think that is mainly because of what we've done in the past, the way it's been, the way we've played, not being able to get past Sweden, okay, losing against Macedonia or North Macedonia, whatever the hell they were. I still don't remember the name of the country, on that goal in the last minute, those horrendous Berardi, open goal misses. Oh, the way that we didn't qualify because of, that one penalty Jorginho misses against Switzerland. If he scores that, it's a completely different world. We're in that World Cup. Now we're here, ready to qualify, and I'll show the next games. What is true, though, and it does make me laugh, that no matter how down we are, when we didn't qualify for that second World Cup, well, that first World Cup, sorry, we went to the Euros, complete underdogs, didn't lose a game, barely conceded a goal. We beat England at Wembley in their own backyard after they went 1-0 up on penalties. And we still took home a trophy. So even though we've had an absolute torrid time of it, even though the FIGC is a disgrace, even though Gravina clearly doesn't know what he's doing, even though we are slowly falling down the ranking, we still won a trophy. Some nations haven't won a trophy since the 60s, 70s, 80s, and we still managed to win a trophy despite all of that. So there is something to take there. There is some solace. But in terms of looking forward, I said in my piece on the Substack, Italian international football isn't dying; it's dead. It's died. Like it's gone beyond repair. The system is wrong. The way that it's set up with the youth players is wrong. The players don't get to play in the big teams. That's wrong. There is no system in Serie A to play the youth. There is no rules. There's nothing. All there is rules to, encourage the use of foreign players because of the Decreto Crescita and the tax system. 66% of the players that play in Serie A are foreign. That's inverted since 2005, 2006. And I think that says it all. France, England, Germany, Spain have adopted these really good systems for their youth. We just haven't done it. But yet we look like we do have talent in our under 21s, under 19s, under 18s. But you just have the feeling that they're never going to play at a high level. And that really is a problem for me. That really does worry me as well. Players like, Kamada at youth level look incredible. Put him in the Lecce team, he's struggling. Well, he's always going to struggle, isn't he? But it's just that sort of thing, that worries me quite a lot. So, we're going to go on to play. This is the draw, essentially, as you can see here. So it's Northern Ireland next, and then potentially Wales or Bosnia in the final to reach the World Cup. Now, what are my thoughts? I mean, a lot of people are like, well, Wales or Bosnia, yeah, but it's going to be away. We might be all right. Guys, I think you're missing. I think you're missing the point. You're going past Northern Ireland like it doesn't exist. That's when we fail. That's when Italy does badly. I just can't. I don't know. I want to be confident. Italy should be able to beat Northern Ireland on paper. It should be able to beat Wales. It should be able to beat Bosnia. But that doesn't always matter, does it? It doesn't matter sometimes. It really doesn't. I'll just get some comments in the chat. Fahadino, whatever happens, I don't blame Gattuso on any mishaps. Italy has a systemic problem that started years ago. The FIGC as a whole under Gravina are the main problem. It's time to clean house ASAP. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Fahadino. I think he could put Jesus Christ himself in charge of Italy, and I don't even think he could do some miracles, to be honest. And Angelo Laria says Italy is definitely behind England and Spain when it comes with playing and developing youth. Yeah, 100%. I think even Spain, like they train their youth to not just play, but play in a certain style. I don't think it's about winning necessarily. I think it's about how you score or how you defend or how you play. And that's really interesting to me. And I think that's the same in Germany. I think that's the same in England. And I think that's the difference. I think I heard, or I think I read this week, Roberto Baggio put together this massive dossier of how, the FIGC could improve the Italian youth sector. Someone who has experience, who's gone through it, who's been an icon. And it sounded like they weren't interested, which led him to leave eventually, because he just felt no one cared, no one was under the interest, no one really felt like they were going to make a difference. And if someone like Roberto Baggio won't put his face to something that is in regards to the Italian national team, I think, again, that really says a lot. That says a lot about the FIGC. It says a lot about the faith that someone like Baggio has in it. Gravina's still here, and I think he's gripping onto that Euro win, and he's, oh.
So sorry. I'm back in my hostage situation and not had internet for like about an hour. So I am so sorry, everybody. I don't know what to say. Basically, I'm a bit more fucked than our qualifying run.
Welcome, Gino. Thank you for kicking in, mate. I hope I was more worried than anything that you were okay. So, look, you've missed quite a bit. So I've talked about.
Sorry, I'm so.
That's
sorry.
fine. I've talked about Parma, a little bit about that. I've talked a little bit about some of the comments and stuff coming out of Milan. I've just kind of gone off on a bit of a.
Not for sale.
Huh?
The club which is not for sale.
The club is not for sale. Not for sale. Straight in there. Love it. And now I'm talking about Italy and its woe. So I kind of just talked a little bit about the Moldova game. That's quite embarrassing when he just about scraped through that. Didn't lead to much confidence going into the Norway game. We were embarrassed against Norway. You're like this. I'll go back just for Gino's sake. Are we losing our grip on the World Cup? There's a nice little image of Gattuso. And now I'm just kind of talking about this draw and talking about the FIGC, and I've kind of gone into a little bit of a conversation about Roberto Baggio and his dossier and how it was ignored. Yeah, so look, I'll tell you what, mate. Jump in on the Italy. Talk to me about what you felt after those games. How you're feeling about the run, and then anything you want to add on terms of FIGC. I've just talked for 23 minutes. I can't believe I've done that by myself.
God.
So go for it. Go for it.
God. I don't think anybody wants 23 minutes from me right now. But look, what can we say about those games that we saw? It was a snooze fest. The 2-0. Where we did nothing for 80 minutes. Absolute snooze fest. We were terrible. We were poor. We were sat on our back heels. We weren't really progressing the ball forward. It wasn't the kind of Italy that we'd seen under Gattuso. Okay?
No.
It was more, let's not make any mistakes. But that in itself is a mistake. The game then against Norway, part of me fell for the charm of Gattuso and the appartenenza, that whole wanting to be part of the shirt, wanting to have all of that. And it just says, I think it speaks volume, the fact that, the total amount of goals we conceded to them in 2 games was 7?
Yeah. Yes, 7. Yeah.
So is it that they are this world-class team? Gigi Buffon today says, look, they're like 6th or 7th in the world.
No, he's smoking. He's smoking shit, mate.
He's
bollocks,
Canada, isn't he? So it's
it's bollocks. Yeah. I don't think they're a super team. I just don't. I think we made them look like something they're not. They, all they've done is done what we should have done, which is nail all the shit teams. And they put up a fight against us because we, for some reason, evaporate in these big games at the moment. They're not even a big game. It's fucking Norway. I mean, respect to them. Did a great job in qualifying. Deserved top spot. Not arguing that at all. But, we haven't fucking got knocked out by Spain or Brazil or Germany or, a titan of football. It's just frustrating for me, anyway.
Yeah. No, and that's where I think, that's where I guess I just get really upset about what's happened to the state of our football. It's like, I'm not saying that we should be winning 2, 3, 4-0 against the likes of Norway, right?
Yeah.
You've got to be humble about it. Italian football has issues. And I'm not going to be here because I think anybody who listens to what we do regularly understands where I've got an issue with Fidget, full stop. Or IGC, whatever. Fidget for me, right? It's not proactive, it's reactive. And when it reacts in the worst possible way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Did you see what has come out today about what Gravina wants to do in terms of promotions and relegations in Italy? What the fuck is that going to solve? Just like absolute nuisance information. Yeah. It just sounds like a man holding on to power when he should have gone a while ago. It's not a good look for Italy. It's not a good look for the FIGC. It's not a good look for Gravina.
Gravina. But here's the point, right? This is where I think that things have to change, right? With Fidget and Elchor and everything else. We could just be another podcast, like all the other podcasts, that want to talk about the problems with Fidget.
Yeah.
We could be that podcast. We could be the podcast that wants to talk about the dossier that Baggio did. And we, what's happened with Calcio since, and nothing's changed since 2010, etc. But rather, I'd rather us be the podcast that basically says, we know that there's a problem. We know that there's a dossier. But actually, what's going to change? The Italian system is sclerotic, right? It's weak, it's crumbling, it's old. So all of these issues, nothing is changing. But this is not just at Calcio level. Yeah? It's not just Calcio level. And I'm worried about I'm just worried about what's going on with Italy.
Yeah.
And just generally. Because Fidget is not, it's like Fidget is like the tap, it's not the well. There is a general malaise about what's going on in Calcio in Italy. It's this general like lackadaisical, very it'll be fine scenario. Why aren't clubs owning their own stadiums? Right? Why are we not adopting a kind of idea or an ideology of like, I'm not saying fewer foreign players, because that doesn't actually improve anything, but it's actually rewarding financially, retributively, the youth systems. Yeah. Why is there not like an idea of what the structure of Fidget should be different, rather than this being this hierarchical, geriatric kind of system? Why don't we have a flat system? But we bring back a board at Fidget, rather than you've got the likes of Gravina who dictate everything from policy to TV rights. Like there should be a board where you've got the right people in the right positions. So I'm looking at that. Then I look at what comes out today. Who the hell thinks we're getting through that? I'm not confident. And the reason why I'm not confident is, do you remember when we didn't get in the last World Cup? And there was that man, I can't remember. And he went, and he's Tuscan. And he was like, perché me no? posso prendere i ragazzi dalla Serie B.
Yeah, what you sent me. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They basically were saying that the reason why Italy doesn't qualify for any of these tournaments anymore is because they don't know how to kick back. And that's why if he was to get like 10 lads from Serie B, these lads know how to smack back, really. Now, I'm not saying that that's right. I'm not saying that's the brand of football that we've got. But something's changed. Something needs to change in our game. And Fidget does not have the necessary tools in its current guise to make that change. It's the way I see it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not confident about this, and it's not about being a coward or being negative. It's just the way that things have gone. I could be wrong, but didn't we when we failed to qualify last time? Didn't we have to go to Northern Ireland and win by like 4-0 or something?
Yes.
And then did we lose or we drew or something?
Yeah.
So I have no confidence. And then people are going straight to the Wales and Bosnia, but it's away. That'll be the hard bit. I'm like, fucking hell, we've got to get past Northern Ireland first. We are not that nation anymore. We are not the nation that just breezes through this stuff anymore.
And Northern Ireland,
we have to be careful.
If you see how Northern Ireland got actually through to this stage, it's last minute winners. These guys are battlers.
North Macedonia. I just look, positive, negative, whatever. I just don't see how you can't look at this and be like, ooh, you can't be a little bit worried. This would be the third time we miss it. And I'll go back to my quote from my Substack article. Italian international football isn't dying, it's dead. This is the problem we have.
Your Substack was absolutely spot on, by the way. Your Substack was absolutely spot on. And I think it just speaks to a wider. It did address the issues, but it's like, again, it's like, what position do we want to take now as both a podcast, but also as people that are thinking about this? It's like, fundamentally, what we say is not going to make any difference.
No.
But this is where I think we've got to say we've not got to say it's not about this dossier and it's not about the archaic system of Fidget. I think what we've got to say is, in an ideal world, these are three really sensible ideas that the Italian football system needs to impart. And number one, actually, the first thing I'd say is give it 10 years. Number one, give it 10 years. Number two, the change comes at local community level. It doesn't come at the senior levels, right? What do I mean by that? People watch less football. Kids are watching less football because football has become this pay-to-view sport, right? I didn't have that when I was a kid. It was literally the expression jumpers for goalposts.
Yeah.
You'd go out, you'd go play. You'd stick down your jumpers, you'd play in the street, you'd play, in the piazzas, whatever it was. And that's all been taken away because we basically sanitized society in a way. Right?
Yeah.
And what you got to do is you got to bring back your campetti, but you got to make the campetti as well good places to go and play. You got to basically go and say, hey, councils, you are more remunerated if you spend the money on these kinds of projects rather than, painting dumbass signs out of schools or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's like, make that a thing. So I think those are two really sensible ideas. 10 years and outreach to local communities. So kids, so that you're breeding a natural talent pool. You're giving a talent pool the opportunity to go and play. Then the third is looking at the professional game. But it's actually more about what do you do to encourage these big sides to develop their youth systems. And that Italian players shouldn't have to be looking to go into play in the Premier League and everything else. Because if I was to turn around to you and say, make Serie A like the Premier League, how much money will that take, Max?
Billions, probably. Billions.
Tens on tens of billions.
I think You make a really good point there. What sort of podcast do you want to be about this? I think I don't buy into the qualifying system. I don't care. I'm not interested in Brazil or how they get through or whatever. That's a different continent. This is this continent. This is how this works. I don't have a problem with it. I look at the teams that are in our group. We should have been able to beat all of them. So we can scrap that one. Do I think there's a problem there with the way and identity in which we play in? Yes, because I still think on paper these players are better than all the teams that we've played in this group. So I think there is a problem in there. Spalletti, not great. Gattuso, good, but we are like clutching at straws in some of these games, and then a battering against Norway. He's only lost one game. There's still hope. And I think to your point about the systematic or the more foundational stuff, in my opinion, I think there should be a better system for Italian youth players to play in Serie A clubs. So I think there should be some rule or something that says you have to play X amount of players every game who are Italian. Maybe not even youth, just Italian to start with.
Yes.
And then you move it on. Because of the Decreto Crescita and this tax relief for foreign players, I was saying, Gino, now there are 66% of Serie A is foreign, whereas in 2005 to 2006, it was inverted. It was the other way around. So I think we need to start by playing Italian players so that they play and they're there first. And then that's where I'd go from if it was up to me.
As well, like the Prem heads, which, by the way, fundamentally, look, let's not. I'm not going to mince my words about this. I think people that watch only the Premier League and only comment on the Premier League are the most tedious, nauseous, anodyne, beige, pouring human beings who have graced this planet, who have no understanding at all whatsoever of like global football in any guise. And they are always shocked. Their hubris is always matched by their sheer level of stupidity, because they're always shocked when England doesn't get far in a tournament or whatever. But I'll say this about the Premier League. Have you noticed how many clubs now in the Premier League, probably in the last 4 or 5 years, are playing young English talents?
A lot of them. Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, everyone. Tottenham, they all do it.
They're all doing it. And it just says, look, once you establish the system, it's about actually also having the kind of management that says, there you go. Let these lads play. Who's that 15-year-old that's playing for Arsenal?
No idea.
There's a 15-year-old playing for Arsenal. Quite genuinely. Go and look it up, someone, or somebody in the comments will know. There's a 15-year-old playing for Arsenal. But also, it's like, and they've got like 17-year-olds playing. Yeah, you've got Camarda, who's got to go to Lecce.
Yeah. Okay, right. That's enough on Italy. We'll see. I'm not confident, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. Speriamo. Right, so it's Milan derby time. Milan derby della Madonnina is on its way, Gino. That favourite time of the year. Oh, another Maldini quote on this podcast. Maldini FC is back. The derby is strange. We lost 6-7 in a row and then won the league. Then we started winning them again and things didn't go well. The derby doesn't determine the final outcome. Wise words from a big man. So look, I don't know. I don't know about this one. Inter 24 points, top of the league. Kivu this, Kivu that, but he's done pretty well. Again, he does have a strong team. We're I think we feel a bit hard done by. Feel like we should be higher. Feel like we should have more points, which is a great thing to be saying at this point of the season, bearing in mind where we were with our heads beginning of the season. But still, don't know. I'm unconvinced.
we're fragile.
Yeah, I'm unconvinced.
Reality is AC Milan right now. Well, Milan. Forget the
Milan.
AC.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying Associazione Calcistica. Look, Max Dorman is the 50-year-old who plays for Arsenal. Thank you, Angelo. And hello, everybody who said hello in the comments, by the way. We're fragile, which is why predictions have been harder recently, because it really is like who turns up on the day.
That's literally it. I think we have nearly everyone apart from Jimenez.
Yeah.
I think everyone is back apart from Jimenez. I think they're missing Dumfries. I think that's it. I could be wrong. I don't know. I just don't know. If you go on how the season's gone so far, this is a big team. We seem to have done better against big teams. Yeah. We have got Pulisic back. We've got Leao's doing, I think, fine. I think he's playing well. Modric hopefully gets some rest between his Croatia games and this. I think we will see, Rabiot will play. Rabiot will start. So hopefully that means no Fofana. And hopefully Richie gets a nod over Fofana, or even RLC over Fofana, or even my fucking nan in Woking on Fofana, but someone over Fofana. Fucking the Ecuadorian Emerson Royale as well from the last game. Fucking shocking. I really hope Bartazaghi gets in there. There's a question about starting formations. So why don't we do that and then do our prediction? So what is the starting lineup going to be? Question from Icy Fresh. What a name. I think Manyan. I think Manyan in goal. I think we'll see Tomori, Gabia, Pavlovic, three at the back. I think Salamakers. I hope Bartazaghi. Please no Estepinian, please. I hope Richie, Modric, Rabiot, and then I kind of want to see Leao and Pulisic. I think that would be the strongest formation. I really don't want to see Fofana again. He needs to sit out, and I don't want to see us.
Unfortunately, I think Fofana is there instead of Richie.
Well, that's what I think as well, but I don't want it to be like that. What are you thinking, mate? You thinking similar, different?
I think the exact same thing as you. I think the exact same thing as you. And actually, I know Yashari isn't ready and stuff. No. But even when Yashari becomes ready, what are we playing then with a diamond in midfield? And un punto. What are we playing? So I think it's a really good question because I don't know. We are massively overweighted in midfielders. We still need a striker.
Mm-hmm. I think we've in the last
way. I just want to know if there is like a sort of like a clause in the contract with Lecce and Camarda. I
don't know. What, to get him back? We probably have to pay him something. Is probably what I'd imagine. Some sort of early.
We've done that bad a deal.
Yeah, of course we have. Of course we have. I don't know. It's Jekyll and Hyde, this Milan. It really is. So I don't know. We could win 3-0. We could lose 3-0. That's kind of what's going through my mind. It all depends on, like you said, how we show up. I think we've had more sponsorship deals in the last month than our strikers have scored goals in Serie A. I don't think that's bullshit. I think that's actually the truth. Yeah. So let's see. Yashari had a terrible game when he played in a friendly. I still think he was a waste of time and money. Yeah. Kim, fair point. I think we still need to give him a chance, but fair point. What are you predicting then? I'm going to go, fuck it. I'm going to go 2-2.
You know what? I was thinking 2-2.
2-2.
I was genuinely thinking 2-2.
Is that what you were thinking as well?
Yeah. I was thinking
2-2, high scoring draw.
2-2.
Leao needs a goal in the derby. Pulisic the other one.
Yeah.
If Fofana plays, he scores an own goal off his arse.
Fofana. Yeah. I think we score all the 4 goals.
Fuck it. Maybe the post can be our best defender again. That'd be nice. Right. Talking of Fofana, it's not named that, but let's go. Who is your Pablo Minga of the last game week? Fana, Estepanan, Fofanas, or the Ecuadorian Emerson Royale? And Estepanan won by quite a large majority. He was absolute shite in that last game. Any other thoughts on that, Gino?
He was the metaphorical. Hello. He was the metaphorical. You know that bag of dog poo you just find just half squelched but still shut next to
Yeah. Yeah.
that.
I wrote in I keep going on about Substack now, but I wrote in the piece after the Parma game that Estepanan, the last time I saw someone get bodied like Estepanan was when me and my mates went down to Tiger in Portsmouth, and some bloke who looked a bit like Gordon Ramsay decided to call one of my mates Michael McIntyre. There were 10 of us, and then let me tell you, that man got bodied more than Estepanan bodied, but that's probably the closest I've ever seen. The way that Estepanan just gets absolutely taken out, and then that guy like does a cheeky little back kill, turns round. Number 10's got ages to pick his spot. Oh my god!
Absolutely. You know what? When I watched it, I died. When he's just like trying to like, and then he just gets bodied. Yeah. Oh,
just kick the ball.
When I read that in the Substack, it's like, I'm so glad we haven't done a night out because
I used to be well rowdy.
What is it? The rat and frog, the rat and parrot.
Rat and parrot.
The stories of rat and parrot, and now this have absolutely floored me.
Yeah, mental. Like I couldn't believe it. Anyway, right. If you like what you hear and see by me and Mr. Zilgino over there, we do a premium Substack content. We do bonus articles, bonus podcasts. You can sign up for £3.50 a month, or you can become a founding member. Thank you to our founding members who are scrolling below there, Rune, Raja and Shane, and thank you to our paying subscriber Buzz, and thank you to our free subscribers Adam Hastings, Angelo Aria, Shahan P and Mr. Diavolo. And I think Fahadino is there as well.
Yes.
Well, Fahadino is one, yeah. So, yeah, what did we do this week? Well, I did my third time lucky with the Azzurri, as well as I did the Polli di Parma piece and the bonus podcast.
It's really just picked up the whole slack on the additional content, and I promise I will be back on it. You'll have my you'll have my usual dulcet analysis.
So I guess that's kind of the natural end.
Yeah.
I think the only other thing, Gino, maybe to quickly touch on is just, we haven't had a chance to talk about the permanent sale of the San Siro now that it is official.
Yeah.
And Milan and Inter do own San Siro and the neighbouring land.
The thing of which I said is never going to happen and now seems to be happening in the next year.
Yeah. 190 million, I think, we've paid between us for the whole thing. There's a project to have a brand new stadium by 2031. It does mean the complete redevelopment of the San Siro area, and I think, if I've not read it wrong, San Siro will be pulled down.
There is a documentary / report that went out on Right There a few months back. I think it was September time. I'm going to have to find it. I'm going to have to probably try and reference it in the Substack. Yeah. But it basically showed what the major issues are with the whole idea of the stadium and where it's going to be built and what's going to be done, etc. Okay, here's the thing. My biggest concern is that La Scala del Calcio becomes this forgotten icon, right? My biggest concern is that. My second biggest concern is essentially what we do is we just stick a lid on it, make a dome out of it or something. Do we want to see full stadiums? Yes. Does that mean that stadium capacity weirdly has to come down? Yes, because that's what happened with the J Stadium. They went from the Dele LP, which was what, 70, 80,000, to what's the J Stadium, 45.
Oh, yeah, it's not a lot.
Was-
Didn't they say they still wanted 70,000 though
Yeah.
in this one?
Yeah.
So it's still going to be a decent one. Max, are you going to do a live immediately after the derby on Sunday? I don't know, mate. Don't know. We were talking about doing a live watch along.
Live watch along. I think we might have to just forego that one this time round, but there may be another game in the future.
Yeah. We might do a live after.
Yeah.
It depends how we're feeling, I think.
So the biggest thing is, look, the way I kind of see it is this. Again, do we want to be the podcast that just wants to talk about the sale of the San Siro? Do we want to be the podcast that basically says, what do we think that this means for both Milan clubs? I think we should be the latter. And I think actually, if you're an Inter fan, as well as if you,
you're welcome.
You know, or if you are an AC fan, like, look, we need to sit down together and basically say, look, as clubs, what do we want to see out of the clubs and the ownership and the management and what they're going to do with this stadium? Because I want the stadium to be a reflection about what Milan in football is. Okay. Now, for us, there's only one Milan in football. For them, it's them, and for us, it's for us, right? But what does it mean as a wider promise towards culture? What does it mean as a wider promise towards youth football in the north of Italy? What does it mean as a wider promise to that whole area? Because if anybody spent any amount of time in Milan, and I'm not sure whoever listening has, but I have, one of my dear friends who's no longer with us, her apartment was in San Siro, the San Siro area. I could walk to the San Siro from her house in 15 minutes. It's what's going to happen to the area. You know, are you going to develop better metro system? I mean, there's the purple line which goes there now, the M3, which goes there. But you know, are you going to do more around? Are you going to do more around that area to cultivate a better approach with the local community and things? So, and also, like, look, what do we really think that we're going to be getting back in ticket sales? Really, as clubs, what do we really think we're going to be getting back in ticket sales?
I think it doubles what we make now. Essentially, is what I've read. It should double it,
right? Yeah. Because basically, the council's not taking it 70%. But
we should make a lot more.
If the council's not taking 70%, does that mean then that the council loses money and the provision of money to offer services for the local area?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I think for me, the one thing that I can kind of get over it, but still it leaves a sour taste in my mouth, is the fact that it's not ours, our own stadium. I think Inter have kind of just come along for the ride, and they've kind of got something out of something that they didn't really deserve. But anyway, so that I'm not happy with that. I would like the new stadium to have some kind of nod towards the old one, whether it's the towers where you walk up, whether it's the red, square frame, something that kind of resonates the San Siro in it, so that it becomes recognisable. I think, 70,000 seater. It's got to have all the mod cons. I mean, a fucking toilet would be nice, all that sort of stuff. We'll see, I guess. I still find it. I just still find it miraculous that years and years and years to get any kind of movement.
Yeah.
Infantino shows up, and within 2 weeks, there's a plan. Within 2 months, we've bought San Siro with Inter. Weird.
I think the whole thing with the whole Infantino thing is, do you know what? Like, I get it. I get that he holds this sway and stuff, but I don't buy into that he made that bigger move.
I think saying to the council, if you don't sell this stadium to these two or give them a chance to make another stadium, Milan cannot be in 2032 Euros. And the amount of money that they would lose as a council, as a city, I think way outstrips what they've lost in terms of potential revenue from the San Siro. Because I guess there'll still be charges. Milan and Inter will still have to pay charges for the San Siro to the council. You know, like I guess a bit like council tax or something. You still have to pay something.
I mean, look, one of the weirdest ones is look at the Milan Olympics that's happening in 2026. It's the Milan Cortina d'Ampezzo. Get it up on a map.
Yeah.
Do it for the next pod, right? That we do.
But the San Siro's shut for it, isn't it? Because we can't flip and play in it.
San Siro's shut for it. But get it on a map on the next podcast that we do, and see where everything is connected. Because Cortina d'Ampezzo is nowhere near Milan. Like there's 4 different sites. How that got past the IOC, I have no idea. No idea.
Grazie. Right, we're just under an hour, so I think we'll wrap it up there. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for jumping in. Big thank you to the live viewers. I'm not sure how much we reached, but really appreciate that. Please like, subscribe, and follow our podcast. You can find us on Apple. You can find us on Spotify. Obviously, we've got a YouTube channel. We've got a TikTok. We've got Instagram. And of course, if you can and you would like to, please subscribe to the Substack. We really appreciate it. Forza Milan, I guess. Hopefully we can talk about a win, maybe. And yeah, bye.